Back in 1964, in September, this man, along with a handful of other people, including Craig Rodwell, who started the Oscar Wilde bookstore in New York City, decided to protest the oppression of gays by the military then, in 1964, 5 years before Stonewall. It was a Saturday. They didn't get much attention, of course, but they made a statement. And 5 years later, Frank got together with some other people in Washington, D.C., and later Philadelphia, and made the same statements. So I'm going to let Randy Wicker, the organizer of that demonstration in New York in 1964, say a few words. Randy.
It's really a real honor to be here today. Because I know that, I don't know how many of you know very quickly, Leonard's story is that he joined the Army, and in the Army he'd been celibate to the age 30. He suddenly discovered he was gay. He started out as a racist in South Carolina, and they had him teaching race relations after his attitudes changed, because, you know, guys were fighting in Vietnam, black men had to draft back then. I was drafted, and I got a 4F rating. I got a 4F rating for being gay. Serving in the Army was very unpopular during the Vietnam War, so I used to call it the positive side of prejudice, which it really isn't as positive as you think. Because of my 4F classification, you have to tell why. So I told a childhood history of epilepsy to pass interviews. I found out there was huge prejudice against people with childhood histories of epilepsy. I also wanted to get a substitute teaching license. I have a BA degree. But to do that, you have to sign a release to let them see your draft records to see why you're 4F. And back in the early 60s, it would be unthinkable to have someone that was known to be a homosexual, you know, teaching school. So even though we were exempt, we really did suffer. And, you know, the forgotten part of the gay movement, everyone thinks it began in Stonewall in 1969. It really began with Harry Hay in 1950. And the next person, I don't know whether Frank Kameny or I was the next person. He had a demonstration just about 6 or 9 months after mine. I happened to just, and that was interesting because, you know, I had this demonstration. We went down, we called the press, we handed out leaflets. I thought someone will come out and scream at us, somebody or the press will show up. No press would come. We didn't get any negative, we didn't get any reactions. People just will come like that, you know. And they were carrying signs like homosexuals died for the U.S. too. Renee Capiero is the one you see carrying that sign in the picture. It's a little blurry, but she is still living. She was one of the first gay delegates to the 1972 Democratic Convention and is still active in politics. And she wasn't even at Stonewall. She was having an ugly divorce with a lover in Provincetown when Stonewall occurred. I brought along a leaflet. I have a few copies of it. This is a copy of the first leaflet that we distributed at that demonstration, which there were only about 12 people, about half of whom were straight, because we got the Sex Freedom League to join, and they were like wobblies. They were real radical. They said, "Oh man, who would want to join the Army?" I said, "But people should have the right to join. They want to." And they said, "Yeah, you're right about that." And so half of them, and we had the other half, or 6 of us were gay. So I said, wow, if you'd asked me that day, I would have told you. How did it go, Randy? Oh, big flop, you know?